Incense and Peppermints. It was done by a group called the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Pat, rate the record.
I gave it an 80, and I like the sound real well.
Did you buy that record?
Yeah.
Will it be a top 10 record?
I don't know.
Okay. Jackie, how'd you rate it?
I gave it a 75, and it was, the kids could dance to it better, and it was different.
All right, fair enough. What's our average, Marcel?
77 and a half.
All right, let me do a little reviewing while you...
Sixpence was used by a couple different bands, and they just said, just pick a new name, and I think they were looking to get a new name anyway. So one of their favorite songs was, this was a White's favorite song, was Strawberry Fields Forever. So they wanted it to be Strawberry something, and there was a malfunctioning clock in the room where they were talking about this, and they just thought of a Strawberry Alarm Clock, and that became their new name. And they're the times were starting to seep into the music, and that certainly is one of them. Not long after this, they were touring with the Beach Boys in Buffalo Springfield, and one person that took an interest in Rainy Day Mushroom Pillow was Neil Young, and he was always talking to Ed King about what were the chords at the opening of that song. And you may notice that Neil Young used those chords for the intro or for the main riff of Down by the River. Hit #1 in November, and it hit #1 while they were on tour with the Beach Boys and Buffalo Springfield. The band's stock started to rise quickly, and they were asked to appear in the film Psych Out, which was a hippie exploitation film. And this was a Dick Clark production starring Susan Strasberg, Dean Stockwell, Jack Nicholson, and...
presents the Strawberry Alarm Clock.
First album, which would have made total sense, and there was some good prospects available there. They recorded a new song, and that was called Tomorrow. Tomorrow's a great, it was a $900,000 budget that made 10 times at the box office.
Hey, man, I've been to parties where they dance to records by the Strawberry Alarm Clock, but this is the first time that the Strawberry Alarm Clock's ever been to the party. Hey, what are you shouting out, man? I hear the minimum gig is $4,000.
I get them for
chart. There was also an album that came out not long after this that was a combo of the Strawberry Alarm Clock and the Who. So by now we're in 1971, and after that tour of the South, they were unable to secure a record contract, and they called it quits. They were pretty much done. Now, Ed King is probably the most notable member. He eventually joined Leonard Skinner in 1973. He is on their first album and played on a few albums. And his claim to fame is he actually came up with the lick to Sweet Home Alabama, which is the classic lick of all time. His guitar playing across all of these albums is really strong. So even if you're not an Ed King fan, I mean, he's got a great fluid style playing. His tone is great, and he was really a very talented player.